hello and welcome. You are with Susan Alexander from Angelic Vibrations, and today is Thursday, the 1st of March, the first official day of autumn in the Southern Hemisphere and the first official day of spring in the Northern Hemisphere. And in both places we are seeing not the weather we'd normally expect for those times of years, but completely different to what it normally is. Here in Australia, for the first official day of spring, mind you, of autumn, I do love to get things turned around today. It must be a day of looking at the other side of things. But today in Australia, particularly where I am in Queensland, southeast Queensland, we have had temperatures 36 degrees and plus, which are at least 6 degrees above normal for the first day of autumn in Australia. So it is continuing with this strange weather patterns that we haven't seen before, that we are being still inundated by. In the Northern Hemisphere, of course, for their first day of spring, they are now feet deep in snow in places where they have never had snow before, or not for decades. But it is an indication still that Gaia, Mother Nature, is using her own energies as she must to align herself with the new vibration that she wishes to ascend to, which we are ascending to. And Metatron has asked me to assure people that the changes that we are undergoing are necessary, that we are being supported by the angelic realm, that we have the energy that we need available to us if we ask, to be able to weather the storms, and that despite the frailty of our human vessel, we are given the strength we are needed to overcome those obstacles, those challenges, those devastating events which we are faced with at any given time. It brings me to an acknowledgement now that my heart still goes out to all those people who have been involved in any way with the Florida shootings. But not just the Florida shootings, they are just the most recent. Any loss of life through acts of terrorism in any way, shape or form are in my heart, always in my heart and always in my prayers and always with the angels. The archangels are standing around and they are comforting as many people as they can, because they can be with everybody at any time. There is nothing I could say. There are no words to describe the horror, the devastation I felt from those people who have been affected by the recent deaths and past deaths. We'll just ask Metatron to come close and if there's anything special I'm supposed to say at the moment. No, just go on, he says. Even though it's not of the same scale, in this past week we have had 2 police-related shootings here in Brisbane, or southeast Queensland. 2 people who have lost their lives because of circumstances that had surrounded them and they could find no other way of dealing with it except by resorting to this violence which, the violence begets violence, I'm told. I woke up this morning with a song, 2 songs actually, one after the other. The first one was Kentucky Rain. It was being sung by Elvis, and I will put a YouTube on my Facebook page, which is Angelic Vibrations, if anyone wants to look at it, because the words are very, very apt. And then after that it finished playing in my mind, I heard the words wheels within wheels. And of course I knew the song, but I couldn't bring it to mind. And it was actually being sung by Barbara Streisand, and it's called Windmills of Your Mind. Both of them actually beautifully describe the feelings that are prominent and flowing through society as a whole at the moment. I don't want to get embroiled in a huge gun debate. My personal views are Metatron says to jump in. My personal views are that we have too many guns. We have too many guns, and reliance on the guns to solve a problem is not a solution to a problem. You can arm as many people as you like, and as long as there are guns there will be people who want to use those guns. And if they're using those guns, then people are going to be injured and dying from them. You cannot expect change, which 2018, an 11-year, is all about. You cannot expect change without cataclysmic events and an enormous desire to change. The cataclysmic events are the continuing deaths. Those beautiful pure souls who decided to be an object lesson for the rest of us on the futility of having guns, on the futility of not watching what people are saying, not hearing people when they are giving you the clues that they are ready to explode in an unacceptable way, and yet we do nothing, and then we are lost as a consequence. We have to accept responsibility in ourselves. If I am allowed to have a gun to protect myself, and someone comes through my front door, and I don't know that they are arriving, but they're a family member, and they may have been out, they may be allowed because they've been out having a drink with their friends, or they may be saying goodbye to their mates as they leave, and I don't know who it is, and I respond by drawing out my gun and shooting them. What have I achieved? Even if it is someone who is breaking in because they want to rob me. How much importance do you want to place on anything that you own, any object that you own? I take up my gun and I shoot them? What burden does that place on my soul? And Metatron is the Akashic record keeper, the keeper of the karmic scrolls. Every act that we do, every thought that we think, every word we speak, every action, every deed, everything that we do here now, I can either add to our karmic debt or it can relieve our karmic debt. And if we wish to respond with violence because we are afraid, then we are going to perpetuate this cycle of violence. That's the end of the soapbox. I could go on and on, but I don't want to, because I wanted to make this video and talk about March, coming month. The coming month, we are asked to look at nature, not simply Mother Nature, although this is really important because we are seeing that if Mother Nature needs to do something and she must do this to achieve what she has to achieve balance, or we will. And I'm being told I'm seeing the entire world cracked in two. If she cannot release the pressure that has built up because she's waited so long, if she cannot now start making those changes, she needs to ascend to the next level, to her level, then the world is going to suffer, and as a consequence, we all will suffer. There will be a breaking of the world. And the angels, the archangels, are here to support not only us, but Gaia herself, to be able to make these changes, because the earth is meant to survive. We are meant to survive. We are important. Nature just is not simply the birds and the bees and the butterflies and the trees, the ocean and the ground, and they're important. And everyone who lives in a big city, Metatron is saying, actually Sandalphon has come as well. I have them both here, and they are saying in unison, we need to find a small patch of the earth, the grass, and we need to have our feet on the ground to ground ourselves. The earth has wonderful resources beneath her surface, minerals and crystals within her rock formations, which can assist us in balancing ourselves, our bodies, our minds. We are able to achieve a state of balance if we are able to go outside and look up at the sky, see the clouds, see the blue sky, see the sun. At night, see the stars in all of their glory, in the darkness of the universe, and the moon, the glorious moon, which we had a full moon today, for the first day of March, the first day of the new season, we have a full moon. That's quite an awesome conjunction in itself. With all of the other planets which are aligning at the moment, it is really incredible. We have all of these things coming together, and they're coming together in order to bring us the strongest message possible. I got a few things ready before I started, not knowing exactly what I was going to do, and I know actually I've had the two Marys with me, Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene, and they wanted to bring a message through. And they said to me, whilst both of them, the message they want to give us is that whilst we look at Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene as completely different people, and they are also two different faces of the same coin. Both offer unconditional love. Both have shown us, both have epitomized a strength, a compassion that has taken them through the darkest of nights that they could have had, and yet they've never lost that inner spark of unconditional love. And if you consider the love that they freely gave of themselves for others, they are an example for everyone. So I'm going to use her cards, the Magdalene Oracle by Toni, Carmine, Salerno, to see what message she has. Just drink first. This peculiar weather is making, I don't know whether it's the weather or whether it's me, making the cards clump together. So what happens is I'll be shuffling away and I'll drop half the bundle in a card deck. But we just have one card. Whoops, there we go. Okay, and this is one I'm not familiar with really. The first one that's come out is just beautiful. It's almost like a camellia flower, but it's called Sophia. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful card. And what I'm drawn to is something that is really fairly common with, well, it has becoming common, more common to me, are the beautiful shades of pink and purple and rose that are made up within the flowers themselves and within the heart of the flower itself. We find that the tightly curled buds as they open up and spread out, spreading the love. So I leave that one first. What I'll do is I'll have a quick look and see if there's a particular message that goes with that card. It's one of those occasions when something is on the tip of my tongue, and if I try and get it out, I will probably nip the end of my tongue, which has happened frequently. It's an indication not to say anything before I check, but anyway. Here we go. Of course, what wouldn't it be? And the next one is God. Again, we have a beautiful, almost flower appearance, but it's also like the birthing of a new world. And of course, orange being Metatron's colour, we have the beautiful colours coming out. I've still got the words in my head there, like the birthing of a world. So, quite interesting there. I'd have to admit it is not the message that I was thinking I was going to get. Not that I have anything in mind. When I do this, I don't. It's my job to come here and, facilitate. And the final one is a bit of beautiful, I want to say it's an apple tree, but it's not. It's a heart tree, but it's called family. But again, whilst we've got the green tree, we have purple and pink, and we've got the purple and pink surrounding it down into the earth. So if we look at all of the three of them together, and we'll get the story from the three of them, because we have here, we have Sophia, we have God, and we have the tree. But if you look at it in another way, you have, that way, we have here the blood of what I'm getting is that the unconditional love that is shown and is given through the divine masculine aspect as well as the divine feminine. That's what they want. They want us to, she wants us to know that the divine feminine and the divine masculine have to come together in order to create the family. And that's why it's so important to see that they actually flow together of necessity and of desire. Design I'm hearing. So the design is that we need all three, or we need both masculine and feminine in order to create the family. But I'll just check and see if there's a specific message for Sophia that I might have. Sorry, I will, if I cannot find it immediately, I will have to leave it until later. And then I will write it up for you. Sophia, okay. Sophia, okay, someone dear to you needs your love and support at the moment, perhaps even your forgiveness. Put aside any recent disagreements, let it all go and make up. Deep down you both know that you love each other. Life is too short to waste. Adopt a loving attitude, for love will heal all things. Honor and respect each other's differences. Individuality is sacred. You are both beautiful souls. Through love and forgiveness, a world of infinite possibility and contentment awaits you. The message for God, it says at the bottom, each life is like an ocean, forever yearning for love's shore. We ebb and flow, not realizing we eternally bathe in the sea of love. With the horrors, that's what I'm hearing, with the horrors that have happened recently and those we have yet to meet, we question if there is a God, if there is a higher power. This card has come today to remind us that there is a higher, what I'm hearing is that it is not important what name you wish to use with which you identify your own belief structure, your own particular credo is not important. Apart from, it is not important for anyone except you. You have to find the answer yourself. You are the one who needs to know whether there is a higher power, be it Allah or Buddha or Shiva or any of the others, any gods, goddesses, any higher power, whether it is the universe, God, the central sun, whatever higher power you actually want to give. It's only human beings who need to name it. We need to name everything. By naming things, we create a division between them. By giving one part of them power, more power, we give them more power over us, over the others. When in actual fact, Magdalene says, we each have the power. We have equal power. That is why family is so important. That is why family is created. It takes both a male and a female cell to create a human being. Irrespective of how that is achieved, it still takes an X chromosome plus a Y chromosome to create the first cell division. What happens after that first cell division will determine how that person turns out. It does not make them any better or any worse or any more right, more wrong. It does not make them any different insofar as the first cell that creates them is that the most important part. Metatron is saying to get on with it. Where to next? Okay. We're going back to Metatron again. We're going to try and he's saying to remind everyone that when I keep doing this, whilst it seems that I'm talking to myself, I am not, because he is here and he is always listening to me when I'm talking. Oh no. What he's showing me is that I have a tendency to actually talk to myself. So do, I'm sure, so do so many others. I was going to say, you can put your hands up if you talk to yourself. I talk to myself. It is a way sometimes of relieving stress or tension or ordering your thoughts. Or actually, sometimes it's a way of actually hearing a voice that doesn't disagree with you. Although, having said that, you can argue with yourself from time to time. And you're not automatically unhinged. It just means that you want to air a different viewpoint. But he wants to say that he's always here. He's always there for us. And we've just got to call on him. Like we can call on any of the ascended masters. We can call on Christ. And he is there. He's always around. He's always here. And what he's saying. Yes. In the hustle and bustle of the life that we live, we often forget that we are not alone because we are surrounded by people. Yet so many people do feel alone. It is these people who feel so isolated, who respond in such a negative manner. Christ wants us to remember all those whom he loved during his life, the way in which he gave love to everyone, irrespective of their station in life. The lowest of the low received the helping hand. He washed their feet. He's saying that we must remember that we are not alone. It is only a construct of our minds. And in this month where we are asked to look at our own nature, we are to remember that we are not alone. And just as we see in nature upheaval that can affect so many people, and I am hearing the voices of those who are crossing because of the storm in the northern hemisphere, the snow, which is so unexpected, and I'm hearing the angels are waiting to guide everyone who feels the need to cross over at this time, in whatever way has been chosen. In this way, we are showing our own nature, our soul's nature. We have decided, it has been decided, it is done. We have made the decision to cross. The manner of our crossing may be an example, a lesson, or simply a karmic tie that has been dissolved and it is time to leave. But it is time, and it is the people behind who have to deal with the events which follow. And they are asking us all, let the nature of the situation not rule our own nature. Let our natures, our heart's nature come forth and make the decision, make the planning of the way forward. You will notice that it is the children who actually offer some of the wisest counsel as to the way forward after such a devastating loss. And we need to actually listen to them. We are given an opportunity, I am heard. An opportunity in which to change the way things have been happening. To change how the corrections will take place. Because they will take place until we have decided to change the way we wish to be. So I'm using the Wisdom of the Hidden Realm by Colette and Reid. And the first card that has come out, it's really awkward to see, it's a bad line, is the Resting Tree. And it is card number 22. So we have a master number for the first day of March in an 11 year. We have card number 22, the resting place. And we actually see, we can see is someone laying down underneath the tree which is sheltering them. Mother Nature again sheltering them as they lay down and they rest. And they're gazing at the reflection of, and it looks like a spirit orb, or it could be, sometimes, yes, they're looking at the reflection in the water and seeing the lights that are shining there. But it's the tree that they are resting under. The beautiful, hollowed out tree is giving them shelter at a time when they need it. And the message from it is patience. That tree could not have grown to that large. The tree could not have grown so large in a short amount of time. It took time for it to grow so that it was large enough to offer a place of refuge. Beautiful. There is in nature an object lesson in patience that we forget. Nothing happens overnight. Even with the earthquakes, even with the volcanic eruptions, the flooding, storms, the cyclones, and monsoon in Australia. Nothing happens in a blink of an eye. Everything happens in time, sometimes short time, but there is always time. We are given a notice now, the Lady of Lightning, which is, there we go, the Lady of Lightning. I'll read the message first. It's surprises, sometimes shock, total paradigm shift. And we see there a beautiful woman standing there, the Lady of the Lightning. And we know that when the storms are at their fiercest, the lightning flashes down all around. The discharge of electricity that is going on at that time is quite phenomenal. And this is what she is actually showing us, is the huge phenomenal energy, power that she has. And we are being asked to look at the way we see nature and the way we see our own selves, the natures of ourselves. And the final words that they want me to say is the Queen of the Light. And the message from her is of illumination, enlightenment, and celebration, which is a wonderful message, final message from the two Marys, Lady of Enlightenment, or the Queen of the Light. But they are also the Queen of Enlightenment. They are bringing us messages which will change the way we think and the way we look at things. If you notice in her hand, she's holding a globe in each hand, a light. And she has the light shining behind her, and she's standing in the clouds. For all the world, she looks like one of the Marys, an angel standing there holding the light of the divine in her hand. They are both saying that she is telling us that change. This is a year of change. It's a year of duality. We have the two Marys, a year of duality. We are going to see things which are going to make us question the status quo. We are going to hear things which will make us rethink our ideas. We are going to change the way we do things, the way we think, the way we act. People may not recognize us because of the way we change. There are going to be many of us who actually stand up for what we believe in and are willing to actually put ourselves out there. As I am. They're the words that they're saying, as I am. I have stepped forward and I am willing to shed my light, my words on the world to help mankind and womankind to achieve the balance that they actually need, that they have always needed, that they have given away. A time when the divine masculine and the divine feminine will come together in equal partnership in this world to bring us a better world, a world not predicated on violence and force, but on acceptance and love. Okay, that's a powerful message, isn't it, to finish with? And I'm just wondering, yes, the Lightworker Oracle by Alana Fairchild. We're going to draw one card, Metatron said, and see who wants to give, what message is going to come through. And the messages. past life activation. Now, what I'm drawn to is the beautiful door in the middle and the beautiful shining light that's there. And we have two cities, one on either side. And we see the person in the middle. What they are doing, or what we are being asked to do, is to go back deep within ourselves and activate and clear the negative environment which may exist within our past lives. We are asked to travel to reach through our past lives, correcting any imbalance which is there, releasing any negativity which is there, and moving on so that we can go through the door and up into union with God, with the divine, with our higher power, with our higher self. We are asked to create a new paradigm by activating the past. And I'm being shown pictures of Atlantis. And I'm being shown, what I'm being shown is that we are going to have more discoveries of more discoveries of the evidence that our understanding of the past has been flawed. There are things that have been hidden from us. We are surrounded in this world. We are surrounded with a paradigm of. Don't have to do that, do I? Okay. There is a saying, keep me in the dark, just feed me BS. It's bullshit. And of course I'll be able to grow that way. And I'll be able to grow the way you want me to grow. But what we're being asked to do is to blast away all the bullshit and actually see things as they are and make a decision ourselves. Stand in our own beautiful, incredible, unique power and make a decision based on what we know is right. Right for ourselves, right for our, from a place of love, make a decision. Not so that we're going to be able to be bigger or better than someone else. Not so we're going to be able to have more of this or that or anything else. Not so that we can make sure that we are the only ones who give at. We are being asked to become a chorus of voices, not a single voice. And a chorus of voices that brings the message in different forms, but for the higher good of everyone, not just for one. We are being asked to see beyond what is here, to see beyond the horizon, and to make a decision that is going to help everyone as well as ourselves. We cannot expect to change the status quo if we keep on making decisions in the same way. If we do not like what is being done, we have to develop our voice and stand on our soapbox and proclaim the vision we have. There are others out there who feel exactly the same way Metatron is saying. He's telling me that there are hundreds, thousands, millions of people who just need to be woken up. They just need to hear the message. The message That's what I'm told, the message. And that was the card I drew before I started, was the messenger. I am the messenger, you are the messenger, but I'm just one messenger. And I may not reach many, I may not reach everyone. That is why we need the voices. He said, that is why you're going to be asked to do this more often. Okay. There isn't really anything else that he wants me to say at the moment. March is a month for getting in touch with ourselves. It is still, we're in this great, huge cauldron of change, and will continue. The year of duality, the year of polar opposites, and we're seeing that. What we have to do is see those polar opposites, and we have to find the bridge. And there's always a bridge. And from the bridge, we can then grow together, and the bridge is solidly built and can support us. And that's what we need. We are being asked to embrace change no matter how much it frightens us. We are being asked to see the goodness in another person. If we can see the goodness in another person, we can help to allow that to grow. I need to return just momentarily to the first thing I spoke about with guns. Violence begets violence. You can look in any number of societies, any number of books, any number of quotes that are given. If you respond with hatred and violence, then you will find more hatred and violence. It is not always easy to respond with love. If you have not reached that place yet where you can just let it roll off you and just continue to send out the unconditional love. But that is what we're asked to do. That is what Metatron is standing by to help with. That is why he is shining the light for us. He's holding, I've got this, it's actually Merlin. Merlin is standing there in the middle of the forest, and he's holding a lantern in his hand, and he's saying, I have the ability to change. I can change anything. You too can change anything. If you wish to, if that is what you want, you can change. But you have to want it. You have to want it so badly that you will walk through the dark times to get to the light. And that's what this nature of change is all about. It is all about working our way through the dark times and into the light. It is reaching for the light. It is embracing it. Okay. So that's it. Metatron wants everyone to remember that he is never far away. He doesn't forget anyone. You've just got to call on him. He doesn't orchestrate all of the things that are happening. We do. We do by our own ignorance. We do by our own unwillingness to change. But nobody is left to suffer alone. He is always there. They are always with us. And with that, we will just spray the hope spray. so that on the wings of a dove, the light of the divine, hope for a new dawn, a new change, a new paradigm will arrive in this year of change as we go into March, knowing the changes are still coming. But we are strong enough to ride the winds of change. We ride the winds of change. So until next time, blessings for everyone, much love for everyone, and I hope everyone is safe and warm or cool, depending on where you are. And I will see you again soon. So please check out my Facebook page, Angelic Vibrations. You can watch my YouTubes. I've just been notified it was 12 months last month that I put out my first YouTube video. And my Facebook page has 111 likes, which is fantastic. Thank you so very much. And my website is angelicvibrations.net. So please, if you wish to open yourself to hear the messages that are coming through, and they will be given to you. Just look for the signs and the synchronicities, and we will ride the winds of change. The change which is 2018, the change which is March. So again, blessings, much love, stay safe, and I look forward to hearing and seeing you again soon. Thank you.